Welcome back to Mass Appeal. We've all been there. We try to eat healthy, but then at the end of the day, we crave something sweet. Well, today, we're going to show you how you can have your cake and how you can eat it too. And joining me is Amy Moriarty. She's the owner of bakingwithsugarandspice.com, and we are making mini cakes, but they're a little healthy too.
Yes.
So how do we get started making these little Bundt cakes?
Well, we've already sprayed the pan.
Okay, now you can do that with...
I use Baker's Joy. If you don't want to use a spray, you can either use some melted butter that you brush in there and then dust a little flour in there.
Nice, all right.
So our pan's all set. So what we're going to start with now, so we've got our blender. This is all going to be done by the blender. And
you were talking about this earlier. You have all these ingredients and they're measured by weight.
I prefer to do everything by weight.
Now, why is that?
You get a more consistent outcome every single time.
That's
Plus,
true.
it's healthier.
Huh, I wonder why it's healthier.
Well,
The
difference with measuring cups is they're not all exactly the same. If you take two 1-cup measuring cups, you're going to get vastly different, up to 4 ounces.
And
difference.
you never fill it up the same way. You know, a cup is never a cup.
Correct.
So what do we have going in here?
So we've got here 9.5 ounces or 1 1/3 cups of granulated sugar.
Okay. which is kind of making a sugar volcano.
So then we've got a Meyer lemon. I prefer to use Meyer lemons. They're of the sweet lemon variety.
Now, Amy, I've been doing this show for years and years. I've never seen this. Check out these lemons. They're like they look like a cross between oranges and lemons. What are they all about?
The Meyer lemon was developed in California, and it's a cross between a tangerine and a lemon. And of the 3 lemon varieties, this is what's considered the sweet variety, and it's sweet because it's just less acidic.
Well, and when you smell it too, it smells amazing. Because for me, I don't do a lot of lemony drinks. I'm not a huge margarita guy because they're too sweet for me, but this is perfect.
This is great. It's got that shinier, darker skin, and it's got a much thinner pith, but also because of the lower acidity, it's good for people who have upset, heartburn or upset stomachs. So
we zest it.
We're just going to zest it. I prefer to use the microplane.
What's the inside taste like? Because now I'm so intrigued.
I'm going to cut it open for you.
Oh, really?
Bit.
Okay, we're going to be tasting
Let's zest this out. So then we're just going to get 2 tablespoons out.
Easy enough. And now this is one of those investments that,
this
a microplane.
This is my favorite tool. You can do anything with the microplane, and I have every type they make. So once we just zest out.
Enough lemon?
Yep.
Or enough Meyer's lemon?
Yeah, you can use any type of lemon you want. Like I say, I prefer to use the Meyer lemon.
I gotta find these in the stores. I've never seen them.
Health food stores, Whole Foods, they typically carry them.
Mind if I try this?
Go ahead. So you don't want to go hard. Nope, you don't want to go like that.
Do the opposite.
So what we're going to do is you're going to just kind of come down and rotate out.
Because you don't want any of the white stuff in there?
You don't want any of the pith in there. The pith is bitter, even in a Meyer lemon.
All right, let's see if I can do this now. Just ever so slightly.
Yep, twist it out. Yep, and then you just keep looking for some of the darker spots.
There you go, there's some.
You're natural.
Thank you. I've had some practice. All right, Amy, so once we have about enough.
So we're going to take this, add it into our blender.
And there's a couple other things that go into the blender too. I know we have 2 large eggs, is that right?
We do. You want to get cracking?
Those just, I do. They go straight into the blender?
One of them at a time. So first I'm going to just pulse this up. And we want to get our zest and our sugar kind of mixed up together. Yep.
Okay.
So now we've got what looks and smells like kind of a lemon sand.
Oh, that smells really, really good.
So why don't you crack 1 egg into the bowl?
Okay.
Nope. Crack it right into the bowl. Yep.
Oh, this way, if you
get shell in there, you're not getting
it
in.
out. That
That's
makes
right.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So then we're just gonna
plop
pour
that one in. You're gonna mix that back together?
Yep. And if you want to go ahead and get the other egg working into the bowl.
There we go. I have yet to find a foolproof way to always crack eggs. I think it's one of the biggest mysteries.
Hit it once on the counter, and it'll crack.
Seriously?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, you're full of tips. This is good.
I wouldn't lie to you.
That's true. So we're gonna mix all this up. Now, what else goes into this mixture?
So once we get this going, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our milk.
Okay.
And we're gonna get our.
I'm loving this weighing. This is so different.
So we're gonna do the 2/3 of a cup of milk, and that's measured out. And it's gonna be about 5.5 ounces, and it's whole milk that we're using. And don't get scared, it's good.
If you want to skimp, could you use 1 or 2%, or you gotta go with the whole?
You should go with the whole. When a recipe calls for whole milk, when it's a healthier recipe, there's typically a reason.
Well, that's what I'm noticing too. There's not a lot of bad ingredients out on this table.
Nope.
And I'm sure if you could do the gluten-free flour too, because I know we put flour in this, or you could do something different, maybe a
You can actually substitute out the flour and use like a nut flour if
Even
you don't
better.
have to worry about nut allergies, and then you've got nothing. And
Great
so
idea.
now it's mostly gluten-free. Well, it is gluten-free. You want to go ahead and pour 2 ounces into here.
2 ounces.
So that's going to be a 1/4 cup.
Yeah, 8.
And go slower.
Okay.
You want to slow down a little bit. Okay, stop.
Oh,
All right, now,
a little more.
you just want to top it off so that we get it to 2. So I don't trust the lines on the measuring cup.
Well, and that's a great point too. I never really thought they're always different. Every measuring cup, and it might be a little bit
Absolutely.
off, but when baking, you know, it's a science that can make all the difference.
Exactly. So I'm just going to take my scraper, and I'm just going to run it down the sides here. Make sure everything's all incorporated.
And then we're going to add.
Then we are going to slowly stream in our oil and milk.
All right. We're making the batter right
Pop
here.
this out. All right, so go slow.
Tell me when.
Get going.
And now, why do people do this and not just throw it all in at once?
You want to slowly incorporate it. So I'm going to let you pour it really quickly at one point, and you're going to see what happens.
Now?
As I'm pulsing. See how it just poofs up like that?
Yeah.
So you want to slowly pour it in some more.
There we go.
And we'll just get the rest in there.
And is this pretty much it for the batter?
Nope, we're going to add our flour.
I getcha. There we are.
There we go. Now with this, you want to be really careful. Once you start getting the oil and milk mixture in here, you don't want to pulse this for more than 30 seconds. Otherwise, your cakes are going to get too poofy. So
You don't
we're
want that, 'cause
relying
bundt
on...
cakes, you know, they're supposed to be kind of small.
They are, but you also don't want the batter to be so poofy that it puffs up with just air, and then it just collapses. So we've got our flour measured out over here. This is 1 cup of flour that I've already got measured out.
1 cup of flour,
One
okay.
cup of flour is 4 1/4 ounces.
We're going to put that in because we're running a little bit short on time
yep,
here.
so we're just going to take
salt
the
and sugar.
half teaspoon, nope, salt and baking powder, half teaspoon each. So I'm going to show you a little trick with this.
Yes, please.
This is great because it's got the leveler right there. You go in right there.
And now what's this? Baking soda?
This is baking powder.
Baking powder. Okay, I
Yep.
never know the difference. Is there a big difference?
There is.
And now what's the next step? Is that going to go into here?
This is gonna, nope, this is gonna go into there.
I getcha. Okay.
And we've got our thyme.
So a little bit of time, and then we chop up the thyme.
Yeah, we're just gonna chop it up a little bit.
All right. Well, Amy, I'm going to let you get to it. We're going to check in with you a little bit later in the show to
Great.
see a finished product. But until then, let's toss it over to Ashley.
John, I'll put a bid on you. Yeah, we can hang out. So we're back with Amy Moriarty. She's the owner of bakingwithsugarandspice.com. We're going to finish up our healthy bundt cakes, Amy. It smells so good over here.
So Ashley, I just took about 6 3/4 ounces or 1 1/2 cups of confectioner sugar. I added to that 2 ounces of melted unsalted butter.
Okay.
And then just the juice of the lemon that Seth and I zested earlier. Mm-hmm. So I'm just
So this
whisking
is
that
the
together really
glaze.
quickly. Yeah.
Okay, and
And then we're just going to take a spoon, and then we're just going to
glaze it right on.
run it right over.
And if you wanted to go even lower calorie, lower cholesterol, you could just skip the glaze, right?
Yeah, and you can just hit it with a little bit of powdered sugar. Anything you want, or just nothing.
So can I try glazing? Is there
Yeah,
a special
absolutely.
technique to it to make it look
Nope.
pretty like that one? Okay.
Just
Just
pop the
go
spoon
for
in.
it?
Just go for it. Have fun.
Okay. I like a lot of glaze, so it is Fitness Friday, but that's okay because these are, now they're low calorie,
Low cal.
low cal,
Low cholesterol.
low cholesterol, and
Pretty darn good for you.
pretty darn good for you.
And
See?
they can be changed up. Instead
Okay.
of using thyme, you can always use mint. Thyme and mint are of the same family.
Yeah.
So you can always just use mint or anything else you want.
And
And then we're just going to finish it off with a little sprig of thyme just to make it pretty.
to make it pretty. Oh, I love it. Can I try one?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Roll up my sleeves. I'm going to enjoy it. Come on, Seth. We'll dig in together.
I heard
Amy,
pastry.
thank
You don't
you
have to tell
so
me
much.
twice. Thank you very much. And we just
What a
top it off with a
treat.
sprig.
A sprig?
I'm going to sprig it
I
up.
took one with a little less glaze because I'm trying to, you know,
Oh,
everything in moderation,
it's
right?
Fitness Friday.
Can't wait to try it. Thank you, Amy. Coming up on the show, we're going to tell you